G'day guys. We're back for episode 28 of the Infrared podcast. Tonight we've got a very awesome guest on joining us tonight. We've got Mr. Brandon Willington.
Hello, how are you?
Marketing guru and everything. And we've got Mitch doing his Mitchy yeeting thing. Yo. Yeah, which is good. First time in a long time.
Yep.
In a very long time. So, Brandon.
Yes.
Who are you? What do you do?
So like most people that if they've known me for a while, I used to DJ as Wilco, and that whole thing was very, I don't know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of thing. And then yeah, I quit DJing, like put an end to that project, July last year. But before, like prior to that and after that, I've just been focusing on digital marketing, so I do that for a bunch of clients, and on top of that, have run or currently run a couple businesses, because I get bored and I like to make stuff, and like building like a really like purpose business driven business is really exciting. But yeah, I recently just launched Where You, which is a digital marketing agency I run with Nick and Joseph. End of last year, I launched the Institute, which is where you learn to DJ clubs in an actual club. On top of that, you learn how to network and get booked and all that stuff with this online component. Started that with Mike DeWitt and Patrick Middleton. Now we've got Harrison and Nick Owen as instructors as well, which is really cool. And we're growing that next semester. Growing a sales team, because like right now I'm the only one doing sales calls, and if you want to enroll more people, you need more people on phones. But yeah, marketing and business, like your poster said, which is very accurate.
Yeah. So what got you into that then? Like, how did you tumble into that kind of?
In marketing?
Yeah, like marketing.
It's fucking super attention seeking, hey. It just makes sense. My like actual email footer on all my emails is professional attention seeker. But basically, yeah, when I was in Los Angeles, so went to like, I played in like New Mexico, then I was like staying in LA, and I was staying at my friend Zachy's place. I wasn't staying at his place, I was staying at a hotel, but then I went to his place to like work on this track, which never fucking came out, surprise, surprise. And we were just like sharing like hard drives of like courses that we like illegally downloaded on the internet. And yes.
We've all done that, we've all been there.
It's not the most fucking illegal thing that I've done. And then yeah, I got like watched like, he gave me the entire folder of like Ty Lopez's social media masterclass agency, whatever the fuck that was.
Yep.
And I just binge watched that thing on like the 37-hour trip home back to Perth.
Shit.
And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. You can like build all these systems where like people had to pay attention to you. This is really interesting. So I got like super obsessed with that, and I was just like, I don't know, it just like clicked with me. Like in retrospect, that course wasn't actually very good. Sorry, Ty. But it was like the little spark that I needed to be like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, to like get the ball rolling.
Yeah, and then I just like obsessed over this thing, like relentlessly. Like I found out everything that I could find out, like the fucking dark art shit.
Oh, shit.
Like I know how to target people inside specific buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
What
the dark arts of Facebook.
Yeah,
Or the dark
like,
arts
like
of me.
that fucking deep.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so cool.
It does sound
I thought
pretty
it was cool.
I think it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, that's really interesting, and I got more and more obsessed with it, and then started like running businesses, doing it and things like that, trying to do like freelance stuff, and I've been doing it for like 3 years now.
You also told us you went to uni to study.
Well, IT, yeah.
Was that
IT.
before, or?
Yeah, so like I started uni in 2013. I was doing a double degree in information systems and
See,
technology.
I think that was your first mistake, doing a double degree.
Yeah, because I figured I didn't like the technology part, so I just did the information systems, and then I realized I didn't like nerds, and even though I became one, and I didn't like group assignments with them, mainly because I didn't go to any of them. And then dropped to event management, because at this stage I was like working in nightclubs and stuff. I was like, oh, event management makes sense. And then I dropped out of that. I think it was like event management 100. I did the last assessment, which was meant to be a group presentation, and I didn't go to any classes. So I didn't, after the first lesson, I'm like, this is bullshit, so I didn't go to any more classes.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't go to any classes, I didn't make any teammates, so I did this group presentation by myself.
Right.
Surprise, surprise, the fucking lonely emo kid does a group presentation by himself. And then
Still worked out alright.
and then I basically had a fight with the tutor during my presentation, because she was trying to nitpick like holes in my presentation. I was talking about how what music you pick will influence the spend per head at your event or your club. Yeah. And she was trying to nitpick at all this stuff and like the rise of this genre, and like it was like a fucking movie by like pure coincidence. Every single time she asked me a like really intrusive or like aggressive question, the next slide, the headline was the answer to her question. No and shit. So she was just progressively getting more and more mad at me. Yeah. And then
see, that's the thing I think with uni is
not proving it wrong, but yeah.
It's not about teaching you per se, it's more about answering the way they want you to answer and stuff like that.
Right. And then she kept like pestering me, so I actually just called one of my bosses and put him on speakerphone
in the middle of the presentation.
Yeah, she didn't like me. I got 51%. And then and then I remember walking out. I'm like, this is bullshit. So I actually walked from that like school block to the next block where like admin was, and I dropped out. And then texted my Asian mum to let her know that her son wasn't going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or the first president of Australia, and instead he was going to be a DJ.
So Nick's just commented. He said, "You can target people within buildings, but can't remember to use URL parameters."
Yeah, just fucking lay off, Nick. Make your own fucking URL parameters.
Sorry, I derailed the chat there a bit.
Nick is very much the more engineer type in our team. We actually had this conversation. We had this really good conversation, I think 2 days ago, where Nick is very much more like engineer minded, and I'm very much more kind of like creative, wacky idea minded, and we need each other to balance each other out. Yeah. Because I'm gonna go, I want to do this crazy fucking thing, and then Nick's gonna be like, all right, slow down. Yeah. Let's like make sure this thing works. Like he's just like, I just want to make sure things work. And I'm like, I just want to make weird shit and do all this like crazy fucking shit that I have in my head. So we balance each other out really, really well.
Yeah. That's good. He's like the filter.
Yeah, he's the... There's a bunch of it, like examples in like really big businesses and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to fucking compare myself, but like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Steve Jobs wasn't a very good like technical person, but he's really good like at creating ideas, man. Whereas Steve Wozniak just wanted to make sure shit worked. He was the person that made sure this came to life, kind of thing, which is really cool.
Yeah, well, there's just so many different, perspectives on how like you can learn, how you can do things. Like some people are visual learners, some people are hands-on.
Yeah. Do you know how to? I teach everyone this. Do you know how to figure out the difference between like kinesthetic and visual learners and audio learners? No. So whenever you ask someone a question, just pay attention to where their eyes move. If their eyes move up a lot when they answer a question, it means they're looking up from the space trying to conjure up a picture. It means they're a visual learner. If their eyes move left and right between their ears, it means they're an audio learner, so they need to learn by listening. And if they sit like me, where I'm constantly fucking like physically touching myself, or I look down a lot, it means that they're kinesthetic, so they need to learn by like doing things and demonstrations.
Right.
No shit. The more you learn, that's pretty cool.
I learned it in like sales and stuff like that. But
So talking about sales, though, so like, how do you get into that as well? That was just once again from the
well, basically, like all business growth is driven by revenue, and revenue is driven by sales. So I'm like, I wasn't like naturally good at sales. I think I'm good at sales now. I mean, the fucking spreadsheets say so, but like, I just like had to learn how to like influence and persuade people, and how like people are motivated and things like that, and what gets them to make decisions, how they learn, and how you need to explain things to them. So if I'm like talking to someone, I'm trying to sell them something and they're looking up a lot, I need to say things like, can you see how this would work for you? Yeah. Or if they're sitting like me, I need to give them a fucking demonstration on how the Facebook ad works or something like that.
Yeah. So with that, it's like, so obviously you'd meet them in person as well, but like how would you go about doing that if you're talking to them online kind of thing?
Yeah, so one, if it's on Zoom, just pay attention to the eyes. But if it's over the phone, things like that, you can hear it from their language. So they'll use visual language, like can you like see this, and they'll refer to like colors and stuff like that.
Expressing themselves.
Yeah, hear how they express themselves. But a lot of sales is just figuring out people's away from and towards motivators. So, and you just need to, so the best way, I was teaching, like giving Nick a crash course in sales the other day. I was like, the best way to like sell something to someone is like by like a doctor. So if you go into like a doctor's office, is that what they're called? Yeah, doctor's office. Or something. Yeah. They don't just go, oh, you need this multivitamin and inject this and this, that, and the other. They go, all right, cool. Like, where does it hurt?
Yeah, the diagnosis kind of thing.
Yeah, and they diagnose and they go, all right, how long have you felt this way for? And this, that, and the other. And then after you've like figured out all their pain points, what they're moving towards and what they're moving away from, then you can, say like, all right, this is the solution that we're proposing and things like that. Yes. Because if a doctor was just to give you a prescription without diagnosing it, it's malpractice.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right?
It's the same thing with sales. Like I'll never sell something to someone if I don't think they're qualified for it, or if I don't think it's going to get them the results they're expecting, because it's fucking unethical and I feel bad.
So then with that, you'd say like a level of psychology kind of comes into play in a way? Because then so you have to be able to interpret.
Yeah, you just need to be really good at listening, which is hard for me because I'm not very good at empathy. Ask all of my ex-girlfriends.
Yikes.
I'm listening as well, to be honest.
We have a comment, by the way, by Radical, who thinks we're gothic kids that are elite hackers from 4chan.
I'm looking around the table now. We look like we're from a 90s cyber hacking.
Exactly. No, I'm not gothic, I think.
My bedroom's black.
Black. I feel I jive with black.
Yeah, I drive with black as well. Yeah.
Man, I can camouflage into my walls. It's fucking awesome.
I'm pretty jealous about that. It's pretty cool.
So, speaking of marketing and your company, Where You, did you want to explain what your goal is? Because you were talking to us before about your like mission statements.
Yeah.
So, what's the goal and direction for Where You? Where do you see it going?
So, I'm very big on vision, mission, values for any business that I'm involved in. So, vision is like, what's the highest purpose that we as a team have to serve each other? Mission is what's the highest purpose that we have to serve others. And values is like, all right, on that journey, what qualities do we as a collective team need to have?
Right.
That's
so
cool.
So like our vision, and this is fucking ingrained into like Nick and Joseph. They're so goddamn clear on it. There's a really good example where we're hiring a PA, which I don't think is an accurate job title because she's gonna be doing a lot of stuff that isn't just like PA stuff. She's actually gonna be doing a lot of really valuable, high level kind of strategy stuff with me. We were like talking to her, and I started talking about vision, mission, values, and Nick interrupted me. He goes, "Oh," and he held up his phone. He had the document out on his phone, ready to like teach her.
Just straight up.
Yeah, that's like how ingrained it is into our team, which I think is really, really powerful.
No, that's good though, because that's what you need though.
Yeah, and
a team's a team.
Exactly. This is exactly it. We all need to know exactly where we're going and how we're going to get there. And so the vision for our for Where You is to become the leading authority in Australia in paid traffic. Like we have to be like the number one when you think Facebook in all of Australia. Yeah. That's going to change soon. I'm going to change the world. The vision for the institute is be the leading DJ education institution in the world.
Yeah,
that's
so
what
just
I want it to be.
for people who are listening and don't know what the institute is, do you want to explain what that
so
is?
The institute is basically a DJ education institution where we teach like aspiring DJs how to DJ clubs in an actual club. And then on top of that, there's an online component where they learn to like network and do Facebook ads and all the marketing and all that other stuff, so they can actually get gigs and make a career doing this full time.
So would you say Where your marketing business and the institute go hand in hand? Yeah,
they work quite nicely together because obviously, you know, the success of the institute is driven by, you know, marketing sales on top of having a really good product. Everyone has a role to play. But yeah, they go in hand quite well because, you know, all business growth is driven by, you know, marketing, sales and people.
It is really, yeah.
You know, enabling growth is driven by operations, finance and people. But, you know, your product, your marketing and your sales is what drives growth.
Well, it's like what they say. It's like you can sell anything as long as your brand's good kind of thing.
There's that. As long as the, you know, product's right. There's actually a lot of factors, but you pretty much hit it on the head there.
Yeah, it's only my little small perspective.
Oh, no, that's good. But back to what you were saying before, it's like the mission statement for Where You is to help Australian business owners grow their business in a way they otherwise wouldn't be able to do themselves.
Yeah.
And so we're really up front when, like, we're super proud. We get our clients some fucking awesome results, and we actually genuinely intrinsically get really, really excited about that. Like, we made one of our clients, it's been a goal of mine to make one of my clients' birthdays of performance $100,000 in 30 days. It's super ambitious, but we got to like 89,000 last month. And like we were fucking so stoked. We're like, fuck, just like $11,000 more, and like we'll hit that target.
And so that's straight into their pocket as like an
that's revenue. We don't take a commission off that or anything. They pay us like a monthly retainer, but like the ROI was good too. It was like, I think it was like 10x or something like that. So every dollar they gave us, we gave them 10 back.
No shit. So how does the ROI actually work then? Because it's return on investment.
Yeah. So, well, in like Ads Manager, it's called like ROA, which is like return on ad spend.
So then, like, you know, for people that don't really know how that system works, is that literally just like, you know, they pay you a certain amount to invest that amount to be able to try and get some sort of
so basically like they'll pay us like a monthly retainer, which is just like, this just gets billed every month just for us to manage your ads and things like that, and, you know, communication, things like that. They pay the like ad spend. So some of our clients spend like, I think the most I've managed is like $2,500 a day.
No shit.
On ad sales for solar.
Just for solar, like solar panels and all.
Yeah, it was like all of Australia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And then I had to like scale the campaign, which gets a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, they pay for the ad spend. They go, basically, it's just like, all right, we're going to pay for the ads. We just know you'll manage it better than we will.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we take their ad spend and we turn it into more dollars and cents. If it's like an e-commerce store, it's really easy to measure the return because like Shopify has links to Facebook and will tell you like, hey, so like someone bought this product was worth $100 and it cost you $10 to make them purchase it. So the return was 10x.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of how it's calculated.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit tricky in like other industries where it's like leads where like you capture someone's contact details and then someone else has to get on the phone and call them. Then it gets a little bit trickier, but like, you know, if they know this sales process and their numbers enough, then it can be good.
Yeah.
And then it's like communication with them to make sure we're hitting them targets.
Yeah, no shit.
What do you think is the biggest misconception when it comes to, because I've often thought about hiring a marketing company, but I think a lot of people are sort of do it themselves, sort of, you know, they want to do it themselves. So what's exactly it. Yeah, what's the biggest misconception when it comes to hiring a marketing company?
That organic social media management will make you money.
Right.
I was having this conversation with Nick as well again, actually. So okay, no, I don't have like a whiteboard. So,
well, if you want me to pull up anything,
no, it's okay. Well. So basically, I'm gonna just like look at this camera.
Yeah.
So if you imagine this big circle I'm drawing here with my finger is everyone in the world that could be interested in purchasing your product.
Yep.
Your organic reach and like who you post on Facebook and Instagram is this little fucking dot.
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok ads, YouTube ads lets you reach the rest of the circle.
Yep.
So you can pay me fucking $1,000 a month to manage your Facebook and your Instagram, but I'm going to be reaching the same X amount of followers every single time.
Yep.
Or I can go out and prospect and find more people that could be interested in it.
Right.
That's the value. We generally just don't offer organic social media management for our clients, and we tell them it's just like, hey, like, I'm gonna be honest, you can train your receptionist to do this like as good a job as we can. Not as in an insult, but like she'll be doing the same things as us.
Yeah.
But like, you know, growing, you know, Facebook campaigns and Google campaigns and all this stuff, that's a lot more complicated, and it lets you prospect to new customers so you can get revenue from new people. You can retarget previous customers. There's all this shit you can do that will actually it's scalable. So if we want to make you more money, we just spend more money, obviously within certain parameters.
Yeah.
Whereas like Facebook and Instagram is like, you know, what's a comment on your post worth? Like I can show your post to the fucking shitty organic outreach algorithm, but we can't attribute any sales to that.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, what does a page like matter? Oh, here's a really good way to do it. The next time you get targeted by an ad from an e-commerce store, actually click the page and see how many likes it has.
Yep.
Like fucking 2. They just made the page, named it some random thing, added some random artwork. But these e-commerce stores make tens of thousands of dollars because they run paid ads to people that have no idea who they are. They're really clever marketing campaigns to get them to buy their stuff.
Well, it makes sense though. It makes 100% sense because it is one of those situations where it's just like you can have just a small little business, but then it's just as long as they know, like, because like bringing it back to the whole marketing thing as well with it, with what we were saying is like the, you know, targeting online. It's one of those things where it's like, if you have your business and you kind of just doing it all within the business, you can only just reach like. So with my, I'm still getting my head around all this stuff, right?
That's cool.
But so the thing is like my parents have owned a company for 25 years, right? Security, import, export, like reversing cameras, that kind of stuff. But with that, they've always done the marketing within their own business because they always feel it's like, you know, if they've got the time, then they'll do extra marketing on the side. But it's like if you do go out and actually get an agency, like, when, like is that one of the words?
Yeah, agency. Yeah.
So with that, it's like, you know, instead of just saying, okay, we're going to do it ourselves, when you pay someone to do it, you're paying someone to do a job. That is, you know, like what you said, it's the return on investment, but also it's one of those things where it's like you want to have those goals. You want to, you know, you want to help the business out. You don't want to just go, give us your money and we'll try. Yeah,
exactly. When the other thing with like businesses going to look for like digital marketing agencies is like, because it's not like a regulated thing and like no one really goes to like university for like a digital marketing degree. I actually had students from Murdoch hit me up to buy my lectures and stuff like that. Right. Because they're like, we weren't learning any of this at uni. I didn't make them buy it, I just sent to them. But like, it's like, yeah. The other thing with like trying to find a digital marketing agency is like, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of agencies that are like fucking shit cunts. I'm not gonna name.
You can if you want.
But like, they'll like chuck on random like ridiculous charges, and they won't be transparent in their reporting. Like one of our core company values that and this is gonna sound like a fucking such a hard plug. Like one of our core like values is transparency. Like I literally sent an email to one of. Did I tell this or did I say it before we were recording?
Yeah, I think it was before the podcast.
Yeah, like yesterday afternoon. One of our core values is transparency. One of our clients' campaigns just bombed last week, like literally 0 results, and it spent like $200. And so Nick emailed him. We fixed the thing really quickly, and then I emailed him personally. I was like, "Hey man, I apologize," and I said, "This is our mission statement, and we're really proud when we get clients like really good results, but we're also honest and upfront when we miss the mark and we dropped the ball last week. To make it up, we're doing like this, and this. We already fixed the problem. We did some like extra free work from him and things like that. And he really appreciated that. And there's so many marketing agencies out there that will like fucking they'll give a proposal and like. If Nick's watching this, he's going to burst out laughing. They'll give a proposal and they'll just put buzzwords and acronyms in their fucking email. And then, because like not many like business owners know about digital marketing stuff, so they're just seeing all these cool words that they've never seen before, and they don't understand what it means.
Brainwashing, basically.
Yeah, it's just like, they're just like, oh, I don't know any of this, so it must be really good.
Yeah, and they can help me, but I think I understand what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we're really transparent. We like all our reports are in fucking plain English. There's no hidden fucking acronyms. We explain everything, but there's a lot of digital marketing. There's a lot of digital marketing agencies out there that are just like fucking cowboys, and they just did like a $27 course on Udemy.
Yeah.
So that's just like one of those things with marketing, though. It's like you got to be able to actually sell it to anyone. Like you got to have such a broad audience. You can't just really like go down to one small demographic. I mean, you probably could. I mean, you know more about.
Well, speaking about demographic targeting, when is that necessary?
Yeah.
Always, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you a scenario. I think. What if a DJ, a Perth DJ, approached you and they wanted to, I don't know, get their name marketed in Perth? How would you go about that?
So if they're getting me to do it, if they're getting them to do it themselves. If they're getting me to do it, I got a fucking real good solution. Well, they're getting you to do it. They're coming to you. They want to pay you. All right. I'll say now, I don't do any DJs marketing. It's not a thing I can do. I can't make you a visible return on investment, so I won't do it, but I can tell you what to do and things like that. If they get me to do it, I do the ads for a lot of like events and venues here in Perth, so I can literally make a custom audience on Facebook of anyone that clicked going you're interested to basically half the parties in Perth in the last 365 days. Right. So that's people that are actively going out to nightclubs, and then
that's not part of where you. That's just because
I do that personally.
Like, because you're
I do all the,
you've gained all that through your DJing.
I do all the digital marketing for like Capital Corp. So do all the ads for like Metro's Frio, the Newport Edison Amplifier, like Capital, Lookout, Breakwater, Edison Arcade Nightclub.
Such a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, does that include like Magnet House and stuff like that?
Magnet House is like a third-party PR agency that did all the branding and stuff like that as well. Right. Yeah, and then like all the flick promotion stuff and things like that. And so I can literally just make a custom audience on Facebook of people that have said they go to nightclubs. Right. And then so like for example, like when I was like retargeting people with like Wilco ads, I just made an audience of anyone that went to any Metropolis Fremantle event. Right. And had seen my stupid fringe flicked around on stage, and like the results were like insanely fucking cheap, just because they're like hyper qualified. Yeah, it's not just targeting people that are interested in bars and nightclubs. Yeah, on Facebook, it's people that's like actively expressed intent and things like that.
So when you go into targeting and stuff like that, so because I mean obviously we just discussed demographics, but then like how would you go into that? Like, you know, I guess the best way is like to give another explanation or another example, but it's like, you know, for like, I don't know, like a construction company or something like that, and they wanted to provide, you know, they wanted to advertise through that, but then how would you go through the targeting for that kind of?
We actually got two construction clients.
I mean?
Yeah, no, I saw it. It depends, like, firstly, what you had to do, we actually have two construction clients. Firstly, you had to figure out who your idea, this is actually, I can give you like a universal kind of answer to this question. Yeah. The marketing process for like basically any fucking industry or product or service is basically universal. It's, who's your ideal customer, and then like where are they hanging out, and then like what do they want, and then how can you get them in through the door. So like the first one is like, all right, who's your ideal customer, and then that's also working out there towards and away from motivators. There's some psychological stuff going on there. It's like how old are they, where do they live, what's their income and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the factors and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then where are they hanging out? So, for example, if you're trying to sell, I don't know, what's something that won't be on TikTok? Like in construction. I don't know, tradies on. But like, okay, let's say so. Like one of our clients is like retirement living. It's like a ridiculously awesome like retirement living apartments getting built in Scarborough. We're not going to run ads for that on TikTok because there's no 55-plus-year-olds on TikTok. There might be, but there's not a lot of them there. But they're also the fastest growing demographic on Facebook, so our Facebook ads fucking kill it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, what do they want? And so that could be like information. That could be like a lead magnet, like a free PDF on how to better market your business. It could be like a free training video, a free course, or things like that. Or it could just straight up be a product.
Yeah.
You know, that you pay up front for. So it's just like once you understand those three variables, you can just like connect the dots. And I have all these moments where I'm just like, a client will come to me and I'll just stare off into space. And by the way, there's a fourth eye movement one. If they just stare forward, they're a binary thinker.
Binary.
So it's fucking ones and zeros.
Black and white.
No shit. It's like NPC.
Like literally just fucking robots.
Yeah.
I'll have these moments where I'll just stare off into space like this and just see the fucking matrix of like how I'm gonna get like traffic for this customer and things like that. And then I snap back and be like, alright, cool. So then just start writing on a whiteboard.
Yeah, he's like, thought about it. Now you can do it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically the three steps. You know, who are they? Where they're hanging out, and what do they want?
Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like, you know, the who, what, when, where, why is so important when it comes to just business in general to an extent, depending on the product, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. You really need to understand, you know, all the variables going on, your customer and, you know, what they want, things like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Do you want to move on to talking about how to hustle in the DJ industry?
Yeah,
I know you you said that you've semi-retired, I guess, or retired from DJing.
Yeah, fuck the Wilco thing off.
Yeah,
enough of that.
But you do still have a wealth of knowledge that you can surpass. So, someone from, I mean, obviously you've got the institute running as well.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Let's start with what's the process of the institute? So it's a 10-week course.
Yeah, so there's basically two components.
Yep.
So originally it was just the technical accelerator, which is where you learn to DJ in a club, 1-on-1, 1 hour lessons across 10 weeks with an instructor. So at the end it was either Mike DeWitt or Patrick Middleton. It was MIDI. But then we had like students finishing this course, and what I realized was we were only answering one of the two questions we had to answer. The question we were answering was like, how do I DJ? And then we're having kids finish this course and be like, oh, how do I start getting booked now? And we went, oh, fuck, we are only actually answering one of the two questions we had to answer. The second question we had to answer is, hey, how do I actually build a full-time career doing this? How do I get gigs?
I mean, you obviously can't go into depth on that on here, right? Because there's no point paying for it. But I mean, we've talked previously in podcasts where it's like, it's one of those things where it's like who you know kind of thing. Like,
oh, yeah, 100%. Every single career I got in nightlife was from getting fucked up with the decision maker. I can swear down, like every single one.
I'm going to start doing that more often.
What, getting drunk with decision makers?
Yeah, hang out with decision makers.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was literally it. Like every single time I was just like partying with like the promoter or the venue manager or the resident DJ or something like that. Because here's the thing, and I didn't understand this I thought it was unfair when I started, which...
Like started the DJing and
When
stuff?
I started DJing, yeah.
Yeah.
So people book who who they're friends with and who they like to party with. Because when you think of like running a night, it's like running a house party. It's like, all right, who do you invite to the party? You invite people that you know and that you like hanging out with and that you know are fun.
Yeah.
But when I was starting out, like, I didn't have any fucking friends and I wasn't hanging out with this fucking antisocial emo kid. And then I was like, this isn't fair. Everyone's just booking their friends. But I'm like, no, then like later I was like, no, that makes fucking perfect sense. Because you're going to invite the people to the party that you want to party with. You know, every now and then you'll, you know, invite someone to have like a really cool mixtape or things like that. But you want to book people that you know. And so, like, the value of, like, going to... I'm not saying go out and get fucking branded every goddamn Friday, Saturday night. Incredibly bad for your health. But, like...
Just talk to people, right?
But just, yeah, just, like, talk to people and show a face. That's way more valuable than if someone just DMs me on Facebook.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. Like, face-to-face value, it's a different level compared to online, social, emails, text, everything. Like.
Yeah. And being genuine as well and not pushy or... People can tell when you're just there because you just want to get booked.
Yeah.
Like, take a genuine interest in the person, you know, and things like that.
I made that same mistake when I was first starting out trying to get a DJ career. I'm not doing that anymore. But, you know, I would message Geisha just on their Facebook page and be like, hey, I'm a DJ. If you want to book me, like, That's obviously not the way
fucking
you need to go about
put
it.
in the spam folder.
Instantly like ignored. Like
Yeah, well, it's just like marketing. So like sometimes you need to have a campaign that like warms your audience up. That's not so salesy. It's just like, hey, like here's a free PDF, and then on the second page, just book a sales call with me, and things like that.
Yeah,
but like, you gotta warm people up and things like that. But it's actually funny you mentioned that story. I remember when I was like starting, I messaged like 4 events that were all like metric promotions events. And then I didn't realize till like years later, I'm like, like when I was like the admin on Facebook pages, that I'm probably like a screenshot in a group chat now because I just inboxed 4 events that were run by the same people.
Yeah.
It's like, you had to understand that like, you're not really inboxing a Facebook page, you're inboxing a group chat of 7 other dudes running the event.
Yeah. It's always the back end of it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten a gig by just cold pitching a Facebook page. There's probably people that could tell me otherwise. Maybe I just did it wrong every single goddamn time.
I've never heard of anyone cold messaging any event or page or club or anything like that and getting a gig.
I got one on like the arcade page this morning. I saw the notification and I saw the preview line and didn't open. It was like, hey, I'm an international DJ returning to Perth because of like lockdown. I'm like, I'm not even gonna open this now.
Yeah. Like, is it worth me opening this?
Yeah, it's just like a straight pitch. It's like,
so what advice would you give to people who want to get booked at a club then? Obviously we said just show up to the events.
Yeah, it's just show up. And like support the event, become like genuine friends with the people running it, meet the patrons and things like that. Because I've said it 1,000 times now, but like the thing's a party, so you got to be the fun guy at the party and want people to hang around you and stuff like that.
Right.
You got to be the extrovert, the socialite.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you have to not act like a complete fucking dementor.
I'm a little bit. Yeah,
have 6 to 18 tequila shots,
right,
and then fucking talk to someone.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I still struggle with that now.
Yeah,
I can't have fun in a nightclub sober at all. I will get so annoyed.
There are nights when
drunk people are stupid. I usually am one. I know what I'm like.
But it's just...
Well, you said yourself you lived that rock star lifestyle while you were DJing.
Rock star lifestyle. I was just a local DJ that liked alcohol a lot.
But a local rock star.
Well, some people call it the rock star lifestyle.
Yeah, I blame Dad. Dad raised me on Guns N' Roses, and some of their lyrics are incredibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good fun. I mean, like, I don't think I regret anything though. That's important. I don't regret anything. There's one thing I regret, but like, it's not for me to say because it involves someone else. Like everything, like I've got a bunch of fun stories of whack shit that I did.
That's just one of those things though. It's like you just got to keep progressing as a person and keep taking
100%. Like,
and don't look back, but it's like if something was shit prior, and it's like that was shit. How can I improve?
I think it's definitely small steps. So like I'm actually. I mean, people are slowly kind of like learning to like post on Instagram. So I'm really big into like personal development, like really big on it. Because I definitely think I'm a better man like today than I was like 2-3 years ago. In so many different qualities.
Because that's the alcohol?
I probably drink... I think I drink the same amount, but I'm more self-aware and I'm making better changes to make myself a better person. So the person I was fucking 2-3 years ago, I don't even want to talk about the qualities that I had. Like the person I think I am now, I can genuinely say I'm a much better fucking man than I was 2-3 years ago. And all that comes from like small steps. Like I have fucking 3 personal trainers because that's what it takes to maintain this mediocre dad bod. I just trade like marketing favors and stuff like that. So I do like boxing, which I'm awful at. I get at least 1 nosebleed a week from getting punched in the fucking face real lightly because we do light sparring. So I do like boxing twice a week. I train 3 times a week with another dude that does weights, and I train like once or twice by myself, and then once my friend Harris Barclay is a personal trainer as well.
It's pretty good though if you can trade like marketing favors for free PT.
Yeah, well, it's like pretty. Yeah, it's beneficial for everyone, and like I like again, like I don't fucking care about money. I care about like doing the things I want, and getting fit and healthy is one of those things.
Yeah.
That's how the industry works. Well, the entertainment media industry works. A lot of it is favor for favor.
Yeah, exactly.
Just helping each other out.
But like talking about like small steps, like I train like that now, but 3 years ago it just started with like every morning I would just walk literally 800 meters, not even a fucking kilometer, just like some mornings. Yeah. And just listen to an audiobook, and that was how I started. And then that got like, let's get a personal trainer twice a week, and then like another personal trainer 3 times a week. And then...
Do you think that fitness has been important for you to improve your, like you said, like
100%.
over the last couple of years?
100%. Because like I remember like 2016. When was my third last ex-girlfriend? 2016. Yeah. Yeah. I was drinking so much. I wasn't exercising. My diet was so bad. I would sleep all day because I had no energy to be awake. Like literally all day. I would sleep at night and then I would get up and I would eat fucking chimek and then literally just fall asleep. My girlfriend would get mad because like I was just asleep. I was just asleep all the time.
Yeah.
But like now it's like, I like the last 2 nights actually I did this really intense journaling activity Sunday. Like the last 2 nights I've barely been able to sleep because I'm so excited and I'm so clear on what it is, like what my highest purpose as a fucking person is to do on this planet. Like I'm just so fucking woke that I can't go to sleep. Yeah. But like, and then like I wake up in the morning and I'm just like super excited. First thing I do is like I go and like train like a personal trainer, and then like it's just like straight into work and it doesn't feel like work. It's just like head down, focused. I like fucking remove as many distractions as possible. Like I'm slow. Like women are like the fucking worst vice that I have above anything else. I gotta
admit that I sometimes watch your stories and I watch that one on Instagram. It's like no more squishies or whatever.
Yeah, no more squishy distractions. So yeah, like women are the worst vice that I've had for the last like half decade. Like, and they're so like I love women, but you're also financially and emotionally expensive.
Oh shit!
It's just like, oh man, I
heard it first, guys.
And like I thought about it the last like year. Like I know why it is. I remember when I got a girlfriend in high school, and you know, like for our age, like she was like an attractive girl, and then I remember when I wasn't cool at all in school, and then I like brought her to like some school fair thing, and all the guys like all of a sudden like paid attention to me because I had this like girl with me. And then I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. Or like my brain just went, oh, so you'll get all this dopamine and serotonin hits if you're with a pretty girl. And then they just got fucking anchored in my brain at like age 15. Yeah. And it's just like carried on for like, it's been like 9 years now. And so it's just like, you just had to be seen with like pretty women all the fucking time. Or you just need like this dopamine and serotonin hit. And it's just been like fucking ingrained. So like all my like, a lot of my like self-worth the last like half decade has just been fucking like women. And so I'm like, all right, so like, let's actually think about this. It's like usually they don't actually make you happy, especially when you just like aimlessly date, which is like what I'll do like a lot of the time. But like, yeah, so it's like, and it's just a distraction from like what it is I actually want to do with my life. Like I don't want my life to just be like dating or sleeping with like all these random women just because like hits of dopamine and serotonin. Guys think I'm cool. Like I want to do all this stuff. Like I want to change people's lives with the Institute and like help them like fulfill their dreams. And I want to like change people's businesses by like helping them market their business. But I'm just getting distracted by this fucking girl that posted like a half naked photo on Instagram and I sent her a WID text.
Do you think it's like getting lost in the moment?
Like, 100%.
You lose track of your goals.
Oh, dude. So actually, I watched this video like 2 hours ago, on Alex Becker's YouTube channel. And it was this morbid hack that he has to. So I actually, on my bathroom mirror and the back of my front door, or the door that goes in the hallway of my apartment, I have written with like a nice little rainbow, "Don't forget you're gonna die one day."
It's the truth, though, right?
So it
says pretty morbid.
It says, well, no, it gets worse. Hang on. It says, don't forget. It says, don't forget you're gonna die one day, so don't waste this one. I can look at that thing and just like, if I'm like lazing on the couch, I'll immediately get up because I'm like, yeah, you're gonna die someday, and the way you're going probably soon.
Yeah.
But what this dude does is he has this massive chart, and it goes from like 0 to 80. Let's say you live to 80, and then across, so that's vertical, and then horizontal goes 0 to 52. He knocks out each week and colors in each week that is lived red, and so you can visually see how much fucking time you have left in your life.
Right.
No shit.
And now that, and then it doesn't even have to be 80. Like you're gonna retire like what, 50? So I've wasted half my life. I've got half of my like working life left to make all these like fucking world changes that I want to make. And now it's visually on a chart. So I'm gonna make this chart. I'm gonna put in my bedroom. It's gonna be the first thing I look at. And every single Sunday I'm gonna tick off. Cool. So you lived that week. This is how many weeks you have left.
I like that idea. I think I'm gonna.
Really
it's
cool
kind of
idea.
morbid, but like you visually see, it's like fuck, clock's ticking.
Yeah.
Again,
keep doing shit,
linking this back to marketing. Urgency is an incredibly scarcity and urgency are the two easiest factors to sell something. Scarcity being there's so much shit left, urgency being there's so much time left. If you put a live like countdown ticking clock on a landing page, the opt-in rate increases substantially because people are like, oh fuck, this offer expires in 5 hours, except this offer and your life expires in a couple of years, and we break that down to weeks, and we color in the weeks you've lived, and you're gonna die one day. Don't forget
Here's a
about
bit of an edgy question, but do you think marketing is a lot about targeting dumb people?
No. I don't think if someone's...
I wouldn't believe in that either.
I think, okay, this can be twofold. Some dumb people opt into your messenger bot ads and they're confused why you're messaging them, even though the call to action button said send message. Get that a lot. Right. It's not about... The person has to know what they want, but on top of that, you also have to educate them as to why they should want or need your thing. If they can't work that out, then you can't target them.
That's exactly it, yeah. Because it's like with the... Is it the Wolf of Wall? Yeah, it's Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
It's one of those things where it's like, you know, the iconic scene where he's just walking around with the pen. It's like, sell me the pen.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't have to be, okay, you look like you want this pen. It's just like you have to play with the psychology behind going, okay, you need this pen, but you don't know why you need it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, well, it's like you got to work out their motivations.
Yeah.
So, for example, like with the Institute, I needed like talk them through their short and long term goals because I needed to actually figure out that there's things for them. And so, for example, some of them are really awesome. Like, I actually get really excited about all the phone calls, and I'll post in like the instructor group chat if I had like a really kind of like a fucking conversation that like gave me goosebumps or whatever. Like, we had one chick where I actually remember there was one where there was a guy that worked at Nando's and he hated his boss and he didn't want to do that anymore and he wanted to do a career as a DJ. And I told him my story where my last like real job was I was a waiter at Crown and I hated this job like so much. Like I literally thought about crashing my car on the way to this job just so I could just bumping it so I could say I was in a car crash and not come in.
Oh, shit.
I hated this job and it came up to like Christmas season of 2014 and they basically like Christmas is the busiest season. So they made everyone fill out new availability sheets to say when they could work. I said, yeah, at this time I was DJing all the like school balls like Pan Pacific on like Fridays and Saturday nights.
Pan Pacific, holy shit.
Yeah, Pan Pacific Hotel. It was free like Western Sounds. But and I said I still couldn't work Fridays or Saturday nights because I was like DJing and like making more money, but more importantly having more fun. And they said, yeah, everyone that can't work Fridays or Saturday nights either has like make themselves available or like reconsider their employment.
Right.
And at this point, DJing was like making me money, but like by quitting this job, I would cut out like literally all of my disposable income. I'd be living week invoice to invoice, and I'd be at the mercy of the venue's fucking bookkeeper. Yeah. And so I quit though, and that was my whole thing. It was like, and then my big away from motivator was like, hey, like you have to make this DJ thing work now, or else you're gonna have to go back to a job that you fucking hate.
I had the exact same thing happen to me. I was a glassy and a dishy at the Flying Scotsman, and I just got to the point where it's like I'm literally cleaning other people's food and cleaning up puke off the floor. I want to be that guy in the corner.
Yeah.
I want to play music.
Yeah, that was literally it. And like I had the same conversation with like basically every like student that wants to enroll. Another student, I won't say her name, but I remember her name. I remember at the start of the call, I said, what got you interested in DJing? And I remember I worked her out in like the first 30 seconds. She said something like, I've been DJing for a little bit. I haven't really told anyone though, cause you know. And I went, okay, I made a mental note of like, cause you know, cause I'm going to bring that up later cause you're not telling me everything.
Yeah.
And then later I got to the away from motivators and she's like, I don't really know. And I brought it up. I was like, hey, so like earlier you said, you haven't really told anyone why. And she said, I told a couple of my friends and they said that I felt really embarrassed because they're like, you can't make it like career doing this and this, that, and the other. And I was like, that's the most fucking bullshit thing ever. Yeah. I did it. All the instructors did it. I actually remember there's another one. And I told my friend Harris when we were training the other day this story. I won't say whose mum it was, but I met one of my friend's mums from high school when I started DJing. And she's like, so what are you up to? I'm like, I'm like DJing and stuff like that. And I remember it fucking hurt so bad. She was like, you can't make a career doing that. When are you going to get a real job? And man, I literally remember where I was in the fucking day. And I get fucking goosebumps thinking about it now. Like it hurts so much. And so I told this chick the story. And yeah, and then so it works out like away from towards motivators and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I thought that was really interesting. So like I had to go through their goals and stuff when we're going for the institute because I need to know this is the thing that like why are they signing up and like why do they want this thing.
Yeah, but it is down to one of those things. It's like different generations in a way as well.
Yeah, you can't really blame the boomers. I was raised that way.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
There's a word for it too. It's called juvenoia. And it's a scientific thing. They've worked out that older generations always fear the younger generations, and they always believe that they're dumber, stupider, less motivated to work.
Yeah, TikTok is fucking stupid, but like we just got access to the advertising platform last night, so I did learn it.
But it is one of those things, though, right? Because it's like with Snapchat coming, you know, and TikTok and all these new different platforms.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm really scared of teenagers and teenage hoodlums. There's like, sometimes I had to to wait in my car before I like get let into the boxing gym, and like there's this school like adjacent, and there's teenage hoodlums walking around and yelling, and I'm scared. Like that the My Chemical Romance song gets like, it gets fucking real, and it hits different when you're like, when you're like 24. Yeah. Like teenagers really scare the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah. Ditto for that one, I think.
But that's fair everywhere though, to an extent, because it's like, say, example, Northbridge on a Thursday night. Like I went and played at Universal Bar before all this shit happened, and I've never been worried about walking back to my car except for that night. Thursday night, I'm thinking, there shouldn't be anyone around. It should be fine. Yeah. And there's just like a bunch of 18-year-olds just running up and asking people for smokes and all sorts of shit, and like. No, just I've got a big bag. Leave me alone. I want to go to my car.
Yeah, for someone that like lives like Batman minus all the expensive shit in the mansions, like I'm scared of the dark, the night, and the streets at night.
I'm almost on the same page.
I like being in the dark in my like fortress of solitude, my black bedroom.
That's it. It's your territory.
Yeah, I can't
let the outside.
No, would you classify yourself as an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert?
What's that one? Introvert. I know introvert and extrovert. What's introverted extrovert?
So an introverted extrovert is an extrovert who has introverted tendencies.
Okay.
And then the opposite is an extroverted introvert. So an introvert who has extroverted tendencies.
So the way I think I am is I'm an extrovert on the internet, but I'm an introvert in person.
Right.
See, I'd say I'm the opposite to an extent. I'd say like I'm an introvert when I'm at home doing my own thing, like to just be inside and do whatever.
Yeah.
But then when I go to work, I have to be an extrovert. I have to play into that role. I have to do my thing.
Well, interesting you brought that up, because I was going to...
Are you going to what?
I was going to make a comment about the DJ lifestyle.
Oh, were you now?
Because we brought it up before too. Like DJs, they drink all the time. There's obviously drugs involved. It's just it's part and parcel of the industry.
Yeah.
But you were talking before about, being healthier and becoming a better person. Do you have any advice for people?
Just don't drink.
What's your opinion about drinking behind the decks and all that kind of stuff?
So I would advise you not to drink. Because once you I'm not, it's a fucking steady slope. Like I never used to drink at all. Like I would play all my gigs sober, and then I would when I was playing at Metros, I would have 55 standard drinks when I was playing. I count them. They were fucking sponsored by an anti-hangover product. I was their poster boy for 2 months.
Fuck.
Yeah, holy seriously, shit. It worked. It was a fucking really good product.
It was a good product, obviously.
It was fucking good, dude. I road tested this thing this is bullshit. It's just a gimmick, and then I counted.
What is it, by the way?
Alcovit. Man, I fucking swear now.
Is it like a tablet or?
No, it's it comes like a sachet. It tastes pretty bad the first couple times you drink it. I actually ended up really, really enjoying it. Right. It was sour. But yeah, I was just this dude, I was like, man, this is bullshit. This is a fucking gimmick. Yeah. He sent me 700. I tried one of them. And then, I had 60 standard drinks. I don't even count it because I took a scientific test. Woke up the next morning feeling like it was Tuesday afternoon.
Right.
I used to get really bad hangovers, really bad. I would not be able to do anything for 2 days. I actually don't get them anymore, and I don't know what to attribute it to. It's either because I take better care of myself or my body's just used to it. So, here's another one. There's this thing. It's generally used in physical fitness and stuff like that, called progressive overload, which is basically if you can do 10 reps, it's the 11th rep that makes your arm stronger. But the way this came about was with lab rats. And what they did was they would feed a lab rat a tiny non-lethal dose of rat poison, and then eventually work it up to the point where it could consume what would have originally been a lethal dose of rat poison to that rat. And so it's basically just that you just add on a little bit more. Yeah, so I think I'm just a lab rat you can't fucking kill if you tried.
I feel like the same, hey. I feel like I could consume 2 cases and still not be drunk.
See, for me, I just stopped drinking for 6 months or
I should really do that.
2 years ago, I stopped drinking for I think 6 or 9 months, and then I can barely get through 2 pints of beer now without feeling like I'm crook as shit.
So my pre-drinking is literally I'd buy a bottle of Russian standard vodka, I'd buy a can of Red Bull, and I'll just neck the bottle of
it's probably the
vodka.
Red Bull that's just just keep going.
No, I'll just neck I don't like Red Bull. I'll just sip it just as a chaser. I won't even finish the can of Red Bull.
Yeah.
But that's right. Russian standard vodka is really good.
Well, here's one for you as well. Now that we're talking about energy drinks, right?
Yep.
Do you feel because obviously playing at Metros until early hours in the morning, stuff do you feel sometimes you do need to have some?
Yeah. I would have Red Bull or orange juice with like sugar in it, but like
Yeah,
at that
like
point, like
sugary
being
stuff.
drunk and just dancing around on stage and everyone paying attention to you was a bit of a
Yeah,
adrenaline
it
rush on
gets you.
itself.
Yeah.
I actually had to like wean myself off caffeine. How long ago did I do it? 3 weeks ago. I did this thing called nightmare mode, where it's basically I just deliberately made my life suck.
Nightmare mode.
Yeah, so I called it nightmare mode. I got it from Alex Becker on YouTube. Basically, it was like, what did I do? It was like no caffeine at all. And so to put in perspective, I would have 1,100 milligrams of caffeine a day.
No shit.
So 550 to 600 of that would be before 9 a.m. and it was pre-workout, and I worked out every like weekday. And then a couple coffees throughout the day. And yeah, so I'd have like 1,100, which basically, if no one knows that, that's like what, 8, 9 coffees, something like that. And a lot of that was like in the big hit of pre-workout. And so when I I said like no caffeine. I could only eat between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. I had to be up at 6 a.m. The first thing I had to do was a run. I was only allowed cold showers, which I've been doing for 2 years anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. Wasn't allowed any girls. Wasn't allowed to like talk to girls or flirt with girls, see girls, anything like that.
Yeah,
So
no squishies.
no squishy distractions. So I basically just like it was to like help build resilience, and because I've just basically just done whatever, like honestly I've just done whatever I want for like half a decade, so all your like levels get reset. I'm like, alright, let's just reset it, make your life suck for a couple of days. So I did that, but yeah, the caffeine thing, like I had the worst headache of my goddamn life the first day. And I couldn't, like, Nurofen, Panadol, and none of it worked. Didn't matter how many I had. It was the worst headache ever. But I actually fast a lot as well. I'll do, like, a 36-hour fast some weekends and things like that.
No shit.
That helps a lot with weaning off
Whilst you were
caffeine and stuff
working
like
as
that.
well?
Oh, yeah. Fasting actually helps you work really well.
Really?
Yeah, you work better on
I
an
used to
empty
do
stomach.
intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting's good. I do that every weekday.
I just kind of thought, if you were to go...
No, so the way it works is basically digesting food actually requires a lot of energy from your body, so it basically just zaps it from your brain power. So if I, in this, it's not even fucking bro science, I've tested this so much, like basically, like if I'm working really, really hard and then I have a meal, man, you can noticeably like the focus levels just drop, I'm distracted, I just want to lie down and stuff like that. Give it a shot. So I try not to eat till like 2 p.m. because then I can knock out all my important work.
Yeah, in the morning, in the afternoon kind of thing.
Yeah.
No shit, though.
Yeah, I often feel that full stomach makes you like a bit tired. And
especially if it's a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
Just fucking fall asleep. Oh, that was the other thing. I'm like no caffeine because literally like from 1,100 milligrams caffeine to 0. As soon as I ate, I'd fall asleep.
Have you started feeling better since you've...
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I've fasted a lot. That helped with like, it's basically like the ultimate way to reset your body. It's just not put anything into it.
Because see, that's one thing I've always tried to do. It's like I fell into a bit of a pattern a year, 2 years ago, where I was every gig I'd have Red Bull, and with that Red Bull, I'd be awake until like 4 a.m. I might finish at midnight. I'll have the Red Bull at 7 p.m.
You stay awake?
No,
with energy
it
drink?
spins me up. It's so
It like gives me energy for like 15 minutes and then I crash.
Now, see, for me, it's like I could, right? The perfect example: Scarborough Beach Bar, right, on Saturday night. I started at 6 p.m. right. And I had a Red Bull, but I only had quarter of the can. I think I only had 3 or 4 sips, and I started feeling crook. That kept me awake until 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't sleep.
That was actually like me when I first, like, my mom was always like, when I was a teenager, when I was in school, it's like, can't have caffeine, Anak. It's drugs. Like, coffee was drugs. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it is. And then, I remember I, like, went to like commerce camp, which is just like a fucking like party thing.
Yeah.
And I had my first Red Bull, and like, man, I loved Red Bull after that. I would like just scull these things, thought I was fucking hardcore. I actually don't even like Red Bull anymore though. I don't like it. I think it tastes awful.
I can imagine it's one of those things where you have it so much, then you just can't go back to it.
I just drink water and like iced long black coffee now.
But it's one of those things as well with water, right? Water is the best detoxer.
Oh yeah, I didn't just drink out of glass bottles. Like I got like 6 glass Voss bottles.
Yeah.
Man, it's so refreshing. It's so good. Yeah. Like I don't drink any like. I don't want to make myself sound out like I'm the fucking pinnacle of like human personal development and health, because I'm fucking not. But like, it's just little things I try and do. Like the way I explain it is like good habits to outweigh your bad habits, and I've got some fucking real heavy bad habits I gotta outweigh.
Speaking of bad habits, we've had a comment here by Benjamin Riches. You know Benjamin?
Oh, fuck, here we go.
Brandon and I once left a party because we didn't have special treatment. I'd like to know what that special treatment was.
Oh, that was like... No, that was like... We went to... I didn't leave the parties. I didn't have a special treatment. I just didn't know anyone there.
He also said last gig at his place was sick.
What was that?
Is it all blurring into one for you?
I'm trying to remember what the fuck I did. Oh, I don't remember what I did now. There was squishy,
Here we go.
squishy distractions there. So I was like,
Squishy distractions.
yeah. No, we left the party because actually that was funny. I remember now. Yeah, so like I was at some other party and then I went to mine, and then I went to some other party. It was like a couple blocks away. And then I remember walking in and the chick was like, "Oh, I know who you are." I was like, "Fuck, this can't be good."
Here we go.
And she was like, she used to be like best friends with like one of my ex-girlfriends. I'm like, that's you're not gonna have a good impression of me at all, then. And then but she ended up like, she was like, "No, it's cool. Like we're not friends." I was like, "All right, cool." And then like, yeah, it was just like being at kick-ons, and like, someone else that was sitting on the couch was like, "Oh, Wilco." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, that's not good either." But like, yeah, it's just, I hate going to like a party where I don't know anyone. It's just awkward. And I was just kind of sitting everyone there, like, while everyone was fucking doing nangs, and I hate nangs and the sound of nangs. I literally fucking kicked people out of my house for it. It's just so goddamn.
It's literally cutting off oxygen to your brain. It's like the worst thing.
It's the dumbest fucking thing. I actually really don't like it. Yeah.
No, agreed.
But yeah, it's just been kick-ons for the last half decade.
Interesting you say. We brought it up a few times on the podcast already, but it'd be interesting to know your opinion on it. We've noticed, well, I've noticed
Here we go.
a trend of like drugs becoming more popular than alcohol. And by drugs, I mean like MD.
Yep.
And well, weed, I guess, but like mostly the drug of choice at clubs nowadays is MD.
Yep.
So what's your opinion on the growing trend of
I think
doing drugs instead of
I think it's the fucking worst thing ever, and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know how bad it is? I mean, like, I don't know how to explain it. So, like, your brain is just a system of chemicals. It's serotonin, it's dopamine, oxytocin. There's a fourth one. I can't remember what it is. But like MD, literally just like it's just afterpay for serotonin, and it takes 3 months to restore, and it lasts like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the worst return on time investment ever.
What a good way to put it.
It's just like, I do everything by the numbers, right? It's you should never fucking, like, it's the worst return on investment ever. Here's another example. Cooking, and I'm not talking about drugs. I don't cook because the return on time investment is also awful. So I've got to go, first I've got to go travel, and then get groceries, and then assemble them into a meal, and then I eat this goddamn fucking thing in 90 seconds, and I've got to clean up.
Yeah.
So I eat this thing for like 90 seconds flat. Gotta eat it for like 90 seconds flat, and I put like 40 minutes of effort in this fucking meal.
So your recommendation is Uber Eats then?
No, because that's financially bad. My mum just brings me food.
Fair enough.
That's all right. That's not bad.
Yeah.
See, like a good way to put it for me, right, is that with that, it's like I find, it's like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like relaxing kind of thing, cooking meals. And
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I
It's
wish
like,
I was in this is like meditative. Do you find it like that?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Meditative. Do you have anything like that you do?
Like meditative
meditating
marketing.
in your black room.
Yeah, I try, yeah, just Overwatch Gotham City. Nah, yeah, I do try to meditate like 10 to 20 minutes in the morning. I read quite a lot. I try to go for like walks, even just like short ones.
Just
around, just like around like I live near the river, so I just walk around this little like quay thing. But yeah, I'm trying to like think of other things. Yeah, just like read, meditate. Sundays I try to like leave my phone on airplane mode.
Yeah,
I did that on the weekend. It was really good. I also journal a lot.
Journal a lot.
Yeah, that was actually why I was late here. So like I did it for like 7 hours on Sunday. Basically,
you were journaling for 7 hours.
Yeah, like broken up.
Oh, okay.
Hadn't heard a lot. It was like 37 pages.
Okay.
But like basically, I learned it in Sydney from this guy called Jack DeLosa, and it was called the Purpose Playbook. Is the way he taught it to me. And basically, break down your life into like fucking relationships, business, family, friends, lifestyle, like all these like categories. And then firstly, what you do is it goes beliefs, vision, strategy. Beliefs, vision, why, strategy. And so like beliefs, I actually divide into like empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs. So with like health, a disempowering belief is like this is just like all the males in your family have been overweight. This is just genetic. So that's a disempowering belief. An empowering belief is like, hey, you've actually lost a lot of weight. And then you go like vision, and then you get like super specific. So like the vision for my business is fucking 4 pages long. It's like I talk about the fucking carpet of like the color of the carpet. So basically, like specificity makes things real in your own head.
Yeah.
And you want to get super specific. Back when I was like talking about like lifestyle, I'm like, I want 2 black alpacas with the same haircut as me.
Tim Preston says, nice, bro. Around a page a day is good, and nightly reflections so you can make tomorrow better.
Yeah, so I do like daily journals, but like this purpose playbook is very, like, it's a bulk thing I do like every 3 months.
Yeah.
And then so you got
So
vision.
you're not doing this one every day. You're just writing like
I'll make sure I check it every day, and I might add stuff, but I will like do a full reset every like 3 months. And then you go like so vision, and then why. So it's like, why is that so important to you? What are you moving towards? What are you moving away from? And then strategy. So it's like literally how exactly are you going to do that in really actionable sense. And then at the end you break down like annual goals, and then you break to like an annual goal is really ambitious, so you break that down into like daily habits.
Yep.
So for example, like meditating is like a daily habit of mine because I want to improve my focus. And meditating is literally the practice of focusing on nothing, which is hard when you got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
A lot of my friends do meditation, and I'm quite interested in trying it myself. So,
well, it can be anything though.
Well, yeah, the whole point of meditation, I'm pretty sure, is just to clear your mind. Right?
Exactly.
Start with I started with an app. The Headspace app was really good.
Yeah, I've downloaded that. It's
the same recording, so it gets kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
But basically, the way I do it is I do sensory anchoring as well. So sensory anchoring is when you link a certain sensation, whether it's like touch, feel, smell, sight, to a like state of mind. So I actually have like it's basically just a fucking oil that you like. It looks like fucking you're huffing fucking like, what is it, jungle juice?
Juice, yeah.
Yeah, basically like huff this is it like peppermint. With peppermint actually helps you focus as well. So like peppermint tea is good. And then I'll meditate and I just focus on my breathing, and then basically that state of focus will get linked to the smell of peppermint. And so whenever I'm trying to focus when I'm working, I'll like fucking huff this like peppermint oil thing, or I like put it like behind my ears or something like that. You can do it with like songs as well. So I actually linked middle F on piano to a caffeine buzz, because what I did was I would drink caffeine. I would drink like coffee. It was like this protein shake thing that had like caffeine in it, and I'd listen to. I did for a month straight. I'd drink it every day, and I'd listen to on a loop "Welcome to the Black Parade" by My Chemical Romance.
Oh shit!
So if someone plays a middle F, I'll like on piano, I'll actually get like mentally a little bit of a jolt.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's also linked to like focus, and then like my fucking ridiculous.
And who did you pick up all this meditation stuff from?
A lot of different people. Like I've learnt lots from lots of different people, and mentors and things like that. Reading books. I'm really big on education, learning things, because once you learn something, no one can take that away from you. That's the other really cool thing, I think, unless you get a really bad boop on the head. Like once you teach me something, like I have that forever now, and I can use that for anything. That's fucking incredibly powerful. Whereas like cars can fucking crash,
disposable assets and everything like
that. Things like that. But like if you learn something, that's yours forever.
Yeah.
And if you're learning, useful stuff, it's really big. So I'm big on like learning, whether it's free, books or audio books, or binge watching, YouTube courses, or people that like are doing cool shit or have done cool shit that I want to do. I just want to know how they did it rather than trying to make the mistakes myself, and I was learning from them.
It's also one of those things where it's like you should never really stop learning, kind of thing.
Oh,
100%. Just keep self-developing and just like, push for the stars, reach for the stars, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you always want to be fucking. Well, I had a really good quote that I was talking to you about with someone yesterday. You don't want to measure yourself. That's the other thing. You don't want to measure yourself compared to someone else. You just want to measure yourself compared to who you were yesterday. Yeah. And that's like the best measure, because if you start measuring yourself compared to other people, you don't know all the other shit they've got going on. There's all these different metrics. The only like true metric that you're 100% conscious of and can be 100% aware of is like what the fuck you're doing today. Yeah, things like that, which I think is really powerful.
Well, that's it. You're your own self. You're your own individual person, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And the only person that can really criticize you is like, because it's like what I've said as well about the DJing as well. So like, I record all my mixes, but the reason why is then when I go to listen to those mixes again, then I go, okay, I stuffed up there. So it's like I can go, okay, I'm not going to do that again next time. I'm going to develop myself so that way.
It's a hard thing to do though, is to not measure yourself against others.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you start comparing by age, like this person's younger than me and they've done this, or this person's,
That's exactly
this,
it.
that, and the other. It's a big trap. You just kind of have to focus. But like, one of the cool things is like, with this like purpose playbook thing I was explaining before, like you can literally fucking design your own life. So all you had to do is just come up with like, all right, what do you want? Like, what do you actually want?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just break that down into a goal and then break that down into a daily habit. It's literally fucking impossible to do something every single day and not get a little bit closer to it.
Yeah.
And then, like, once it just becomes a bunch of fucking if this then that rules for your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which I find really helpful.
Well, we're getting to the last sort of 15 minutes of the podcast now. Do you want to move on to plugging?
Yeah.
I should plug. I basically plugged everything.
If
you don't know where next customer's from,
fully plug. We've got the Institute. We've got
okay. Let's
Where
do the
You
Institute
and
first.
anything else you want to plug.
Yeah, okay. So basically, the Institute, if anyone's just tuning in now, they haven't seen it before, the Institute's where you learn to DJ clubs in an actual club. But on top of that, there's an online component where we've got like a really extensive library of Q&A sessions with all these established DJs and promoters and venue managers. Because when we did the first run of students without the online component, they're all asking these questions like, how do I get booked? And I'm like, all right, we're only answering one of the two questions you had to answer. Second question question we were answering was like, how do I DJ? Second question we had to answer was like, hey, how do I actually build a career doing this and make it full-time income?
Yeah.
So
I
was
think
like,
it's really good. You're covering all the bases.
yeah, because I think we're letting them down if we don't.
Yeah.
So
How long has the Institute been running for now?
since like October.
So not long.
Nah.
So do you have any success stories yet? Or
Yeah, one of our students won like a university DJ comp 3 weeks after graduating.
Sick.
No shit. Nice.
Yeah, well, we
ECU?
did. Yeah, it was the Toga comp. Jared won.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah, we did an interview with him. It was actually in the booking cell. We were super fucking proud of him. One of our like core values at the Institute is like feedback and like honest, constructive feedback.
Yep.
And the way he actually like made his mix was he just invited mates over and would just start mixing.
Yep.
And then what he did was like, he'd go, I reckon this mix will be cool. And he'll look at them and they wouldn't react. And go, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought. And then he'd like try something else and they get a reaction. Goes, I'm writing that one down. And it was like fucking really good.
Right.
I was like, I've never done anything like that. I would just like record a mix and just like put it out or like show a friend and be like super self-conscious. Like, no, I'm going to change this bit. Like,
See,
before
that's
they've
one of those
anything.
things of reading the crowd though. It's like my mate's driving to it.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the way he did it was like so fucking clever.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. But obviously like everything's been shut down the last 3 months, but man, I'm going to be so excited when these like people start getting into like first gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we talk about like every single student that's enrolled now, like I've talked about all their goals and I've got them written into our CRM system and I like know what venues they had to play before like 365 days after they had their phone call with me. Like I know all their goals, they're written into our system. Right. And so man, I'm gonna be so fucking like proud when they start like doing all these gigs and shit like that, man. It's gonna be, literally get fucking goosebumps thinking about it. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're your students and they're
oh man, it's like the coolest thing ever. But like everything's shut now.
And thank God you're doing 1-to-1 as well, because there's been a few sort of DJ schools in Perth. I know that people have often complained that
like the Your Shot was hit and miss.
Yeah.
The reviews we heard from that was just like it's everyone's in a group and everyone gets taught at the same time, or you can get the one-on-one, but then it's just like
that's a big thing is everyone's at like different stages. So like we have like students that like Harrison's got students that are like triple dropping D&B. Like they've already been like playing. He's like, fuck, like what do I do in this? I'm like, dude, just stick to the syllabus, but just like expand on like teaching this, that, and the other. And they still find like value in it and stuff like that. But everyone's at like different stages.
That's it. Yeah.
And so like without that like one-on-one like mentoring, like you just kind of getting like left a little like bit behind. And I want every single student to hit every single one of their fucking goals.
That's great.
And so you had to do that one-on-one.
Would you agree with that within teaching practices in a way, to an extent, where it's like, because I mean, for me, like when I was at uni, I hated the idea of being in a class. Like, you know, watching lectures on your own time when you're keen to listen, this and that.
I think it depends from person to person. So it's just like people are different, like visual, audio, fucking binary learners.
I have noticed you've been looking down a lot. What does that say about you?
I'm kinesthetic, so I need to learn by demonstrations.
Yeah. I've noticed all the hand movements and the like.
Yeah, I'll do this with my hands and stuff like that, and I'll look down a lot. It depends what I'm like talking about though. If I'm talking about Facebook ads, I stare into space like that. Some fucking robot. Yeah.
Like you said, you're looking into the Matrix.
But yeah, it's really another really interesting one to watch is actually where people's feet are pointing. Really? So I actually learned this. I learned all this shit from this guy. He used to be like a criminal profile of like FBI, CIA, Australian Federal Police. He was like, you know, those TV shows where it's like a crime show and they like look at a guy and then it's like and like works this dude out's personality entirely. He's that guy.
Right.
Like literally that guy.
Yeah.
I got him to do it as a party trick to me, and he told me shit about myself that fucking no one knows.
Real.
Yeah, it was
Just
legit.
like,
Like basically like based on like facial structure and like all this shit. It was crazy, but
that's awesome.
but yeah, like one of the big ones is like where people's feet are pointing. Is your feet will actually point to where you want to go without you noticing. So if you're at a club and you see like a girl talking to a guy, she's facing this way, but you won't see, but her feet are pointing that way. She wants to fucking bail because her feet are literally saying, "Fucking Lucy, go this way." Yeah, things like that. Yeah, the distance between what he told me is I couldn't remember the justification behind it. The distance between the top of your eyelid and your eyebrows, how much personal space you need. So if you have someone with really high eyebrows, then you need to like fucking take a step back when you're talking to them and things like that. Yeah, there's all this like stuff. It was really interesting. I have them all in like a notebook somewhere. I've honestly actually forgotten a bit of it. When we should find
if you got it, I want to have a game.
Yeah, I've got a couple books on it. There's the like switch. There's what everybody is saying. Usually written by like dudes in the FBI and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's the thing is I've always found psychology amazing to look at. Just like observe and like. Example, going to Capitol and just watching an audience behave, or DJing somewhere and just watching like if I play this song, then that girl might kiss that guy. And
people watching is so fun, especially when you learn this shit.
That's exactly it, right?
Yeah, another really useful psychology trick is the yes or yes question. So like I learned this from Peter Lakovich, who's done like I don't know the figure. I think it's like $2 billion in sales for his clients. This guy's a fucking gun. He's actually from Perth, and his dad used to own a deli in Mount Lawley. And when he was like a little kid, his dad taught him when someone buys a pie, don't ask if they want sauce with that or not. Ask if they want 1 or 2 sauces with that, because then their thought process isn't yes or yes, it's yes or yes. Yeah. Sorry, yes or no, it's yes or yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes so much sense as well.
Things like that. There's other really like simple like mirroring things you can do where like nodding. So for example, I started nodding there, and so did you.
Exactly.
You want to say that?
Yeah, that's it. But that's because I'm involved in it.
Yeah, exactly. So like mirroring shows like how like built rapport and stuff like that. So we can be good friends apparently. Yeah, things like that. I think stuff like that's.
Let's
really
get back to the institute.
But yeah, so basically, the bottleneck in the process of the business right now though is that I'm the only one doing like sales calls.
Yep.
And I've only got so many hours in the day. Literally, the 2 weeks we were doing enrollments, I was only on my phone.
Yeah.
So we're building like a sales team now, like Joseph and Patrick, and I think Georgia wants to get involved, Nick's girlfriend. And I'll teach them the sales process and how to establish their goals and stuff like that, because that's really what's keeping us from like helping more DJs fulfill their dreams. Aspiring DJs, fulfill their dreams of playing all these clubs and stuff like that. It's just we just need more people on phones that like have these conversations with them, figure out what's motivating them, what they're moving away from, and then like tell them about like all this like awesome fucking shit that we're doing. And so we're doing that. Also actually got an investor really keen in the institute as well. Nothing's like locked in yet, but it's a pretty like substantial deal, to be honest with you. It's really exciting. I was super stoked on it. That's not locked in yet. It's just he's in but nothing's signed kind of thing.
So for anyone listening and wants to get involved with the institute, how do they find you?
It's on Facebook or www.theinstitutperth.com/get-in. Or if you just, I think if you just go to www.
I've also put all the links under the video.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
for the
cool.
institute, where you and for your Wilco page as well.
Yeah, that's cool. There's nothing going on there.
They're all linked in the description down below.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm gonna plug Wee is basically a digital marketing agency where we help Australian business owners grow their business in a way they otherwise wouldn't be able to do themselves. I've said that sentence in my head so many times. Super proud of the work we do. We get really awesome results. We're also really transparent. We can't get you awesome results. So basically, if you don't know where your next customer's coming from, you need more leads, and you need to turn clicks into customers, then you can hit us up. You can tell I've rehearsed that pitch, hey?
Just a little. Yeah. Well, one last thing I want to ask quickly. So, top 5 books, because if you do read and stuff like that. Well,
yeah, top 5 books. Actually, one of my really favorite ones is Slash's autobiography. Let me explain. One of his big things was people would ask, how are you like a fucking junkie and an alcoholic and you still got all this stuff done? And he's like, man, like I would have had all these like terrible traits, but when it was time to work, I worked.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of like I've got some fucking bad habits, but like when it's time to work, I work kind of thing. I'll literally go to like Newport, like catch an Uber to the office and fucking work hungover. Yeah, like no sleep. I'll just do it.
That's pretty good though, because that's motivation.
Oh yeah,
work is work.
Fucking weeks running out, dude. Like another 4. Slash's autobiography. Sapiens. Fuck, I've got so many. But any books by Russell? If it's marketing, like Russell Brunson books. What What? I don't know. Pick a category.
Like psychology, marketing.
Psychology. Actually, I haven't.
Self-help books, things like that.
Self-help books. Fuck, I'm trying to like imagine my library right now.
I mean, the Slash one sounds like a really good one.
Slash is really good.
Yeah.
The Slash autobiography.
Yeah. No.
It's all right if you can't think of any more.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to. NLP, the Essential Guide.
NLP, did you say?
Yeah, NLP. So Neuro-Linguistic Programming, the Essential Guide. Oh fuck!
I mean, I'm probably just gonna look these up later on.
Yeah,
exactly.
I got Audible here.
You're the one interested in this.
If you want to learn about leadership, it's called Leadership Strategies and Tactics by Jocko Willink. What else we got? NLP, Peak Performance, Hyperfocus. Oh, Principles by Ray Dalio. Everyone should read that. It's a really long book, but it's basically his principles for work and life. The first one is face reality, accept reality and deal with it. And that's a big thing for me. Like, I don't really get stressed about anything because I'm just like, oh, well, that happened. Like, that's inconvenient. So it's just like, deal with it. It's already happened.
Yeah.
Big one. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a pretty classic one. And I think Influence the Psychology of Persuasion is another really good one. How many books was that?
I think it's about 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to plug while we're here? Any events, gigs, side hustle things?
No, I think that's it.
I mean,
we'd like to ask, when the clubs are opening up, but I don't think anyone knows, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like I think we're looking at like a month, but everyone's gonna have to like sit down.
That's it, yeah. Well, honestly, similar thing like playing in Scarborough Beach Bar and playing other places. It's just the the whole thing's changed.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's a restaurant. Basically.
Yeah, that's literally it. I mean, like I'll still be at Arcade Nightclub every Friday, being a fucking nuisance and for money. But yeah, I'm excited for everything to open again.
Yeah, I think everyone is.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Fucking sick of going to kick-ons at 7 p.m. Fucking so lame.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah, I've said from the beginning, early to mid-August, so
yeah,
I think we're still tracking for that.
My birthday is November, but I don't have any friends to invite, so I might just have a dinner.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the Mixcloud thing, the last thing that you wanted to...
If you want.
Yeah. Okay.
How much have you heard about Mix...
isn't Twitch getting in trouble now or something?
Yeah.
Mixcloud's live streaming service. How much do you know about it?
I literally heard about it like yesterday.
Yeah.
Any good?
Yeah, it's alright.
I haven't tried it out yet. But they have a radio license in UK, which means that DJs, live stream DJs don't get struck down.
The only way you can get in trouble is that if you go and play 5 Drake songs in a row or like 4 Drake songs, then they'll be like, well, what are you doing? Kind of thing. But if you're just playing if I play a 2-hour mix and I put 3 or 4 Drake songs in there and whatever else, no problem at all. Legit, no problem.
Well, yeah, because they have a radio license.
Exactly.
Twitch obviously doesn't, and so they have to follow the...
Yeah, they're going to be fucked. So...
Yeah, they're being fucked over right now.
Well, didn't you say as well, it's like Universal and 20th Century?
Yeah, that's right. Universal and 20th Century Fox have actually invested, I think, $100,000 each into this company that literally just watches Twitch and then DMCA's videos.
Yeah, there's stuff you can there's people you can pay for that for courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
People try and download course. Yeah, Sam Ovens has a course and he has a company he pays to just find when people upload it illegally and take it down.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But you need to do that though into it.
Yeah, when you're at that scale, no one's trying to fucking illegally download my course.
That's it. Not yet though.
Yeah, maybe later.
Soon, maybe.
So,
all right, Alex.
Should we sign off?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm ready if you are.
I don't know if I'm ready. I was enjoying this.
Okay, well, should we have a moment of silence then?
Yeah, we'll have a moment of silence.
No, we don't. Sign off.
Meditate for 20 minutes if you want live stream. Live stream
We'll just stare
meditation.
directly in the camera. All right, so this is episode 28 of the Infrared Podcast. Thank you so much for coming, Brandon.
That's all right. Thank you for having me.
If you're keen, come back on more often.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Please do come back on more often.
Your name's going up there as well after.
Oh, yeah.
You get to sign the board, yep.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitch, for doing your yeeting thing.
No problem.
Yeah. And then thank you to myself for doing my thing.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Catch you guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
I should...